not firing Dan Campbell if he wins 6 games.
Like everybody you just named are playoff teams, and some of those teams.
Seattle?
That's a loss. Dallas, that'll be a loss. That's a loss. Green Bay is a loss.
I'm telling you my opinion.
Your opinion sucks.
Before you went on this gravy train with the Detroit Lions and they're gonna do this and blah blah blah, you should have paid attention more to what they did on the defensive side in the offseason, which was nothing. So before you made this,
they drafted the number 2 overall pick in the draft.
One move. What about the other positions?
What about Josh Pascal?
Nothing.
He's not a blame.
We don't even know where the hell he is.
Who is he?
Why are you yelling at me? It's just an opinion. One of the guys I saw in the chat a moment ago said, picking 9th they won 3 games last year. Picking 9th would be an improvement one step at a time. What world are you living in? One step at a time. The Cincinnati Bengals. Now I know that Joe Burrow is a special guy, but why can't you? This is the Cincinnati Bengals, okay? We're not talking about the New England Patriots or the Pittsburgh Steelers. The Cincinnati Bengals, one of the worst franchises in the sport.
Well, they've been to 3 Super Bowls.
Over the last 25 years. They haven't won a playoff game. The Red Rifle has been going to the playoffs fine.
I get it.
But the Cincinnati Bengals, they went from worst to the Super Bowl in 2 years. What do you mean? What do you mean small baby steps? Baby steps is for a 1990s way of thinking. This is a new era of football. You can get good so quickly, it doesn't take you 3 years anymore. It doesn't take you 4 years.
That's the way the NFL had it set up, but the Lions have failed year after year after year. This is the new line. We can't blame them now, right? Because I'm trying to become a new Lions fan.
Yeah.
And I'm not trying to blame Brad Holmes and this staff yet, because they haven't had their chance yet. So I'm giving them a chance. So it's a fresh start. So this is their 3rd year. Am I correct?
Second year.
Second year. That's pretty damn good so far.
Yeah, no, as it relates to Detroit Lions, and you say they have the 5th easiest schedule. Has the 5th easiest schedule comparative to who? Like the NFL, they got the 5th easiest schedule?
Yeah, okay. Based on record of last year's teams.
Okay, based on record of last year, they have the 5th easiest schedule. That still says nothing. It still says nothing. You still got to go out there and be better than the teams that you're going to play against. And they're not better than most of the teams that they're going to play against in full totality. Offense, special teams, and defense, they're not better than the majority of the teams in this league. So it's going to be tough for them, especially on the defensive side of the ball. You name all these teams, like your expectations on the Lions are that based off what, last year, because they hung in the game against the Baltimore Ravens, who were down to their 5th string left tackle, who had none of their secondary players that are all pro to start the season, who had no running backs. See, people don't talk about that when they talk about how close the Lions were to beating the Baltimore Ravens. They don't talk about how depleted the Ravens were. They don't talk about the Minnesota Viking games. Yeah, they beat the Vikings. Dalvin Cook was injured the majority of the year. They had an injury. Adam Thielen didn't play in the second game, the one in which they won. So when you go to these games, they almost won. Yeah, they almost beat some NFL teams that are usually pretty good when they are usually at full potential, but they weren't.
So how about the Rams game?
It's the Rams, they play good. Sometimes, teams start slow, and that happens in the game. Sometimes teams start slow, and you'll take some teams that should beat your butt. You take them down to the wire, and then they win in the end because they are that much better than you. Same thing with the Rams. Like that game, the Lions showed everything they had. They showed some tricks. They showed some trick plays. They showed some onside kicks. They did everything they could. They played an amazing game, and they fought hard. But at the end, they just weren't better than the Rams. I understand that. But that defense is going to be a problem. And there's too many question marks. So in my mind, just having the Lions are going to do this, and I think the expectations are here. You got to have real expectations as fans. You don't go out and recruit the linebackers that were up in the free agency that could come to your team and be a 92 linebacker or a 91 linebacker. Talking about Bobby Wagner, a couple other guys. You need safeties. You don't go out and get any of the safeties that grade out in the 89th percentile, the 90th percentile. You run this back with the guys from last year. Yeah, they're young. They're gonna get better, but it's still the same guys from last year. You need a linebacker, and you're depending on a guy from Oklahoma State and Malcolm Rodriguez to be your guy, and voicing that. The Lions are moving in the right direction, but don't move faster than they're moving themselves.
Give me a record. I'm going to give you 6 games. Tell me what the Lions record is going to be
No, you keep saying, no, I'm not telling you this because we've done this on. You tell me the games, and I'm going to tell you where their defense is going to struggle.
That's what I'm telling you. I'm going to give you 6 games.
No, just give me the games. I don't need to give you a
2
record.
Chicago games.
I gave you those as wins. I gave you that already.
2 New York games.
I said they could potentially beat both of them. They definitely beat the Giants. But even that game, I don't know.
Jacksonville and Carolina.
Jacksonville reloaded too. Like, I don't know. Carolina, yes, I could give you Carolina.
That could be possible 6 wins. That's what he's saying.
That's what I'm saying.
I understand that, but when I said 6, you called me. You said that was a step back, or that would be a disappointment.
Yeah.
Why would it be a disappointment?
Because then that means you don't have another win on your schedule.
And you shouldn't. Where's the other win at?
Well,
one against the Vikings.
Well, let me
maybe
tell
one
you.
against
Let
the
me tell you.
Packers?
Let me ask you this question: if you go 0-11,
right?
If you go 0-11, Philadelphia, Washington, Minnesota twice, Seattle, New England, Dallas.
Packers.
Forget about. Aside from the 6 easiest games on your schedule, if you go 0-11 in those other games, I will be calling for Dan Campbell to be fired from the Detroit Lions next year.
But see, Ryan,
I'm just being honest with you.
And I'm just
what do you mean, no?
And I'm just being honest with you. That's not fair. Like everybody you just named are playoff teams, and some of those teams.
Seattle.
Well, you didn't name Seattle on one. You said Cowboys, you said Green Bay, you said
well, the other 11 games.
Yeah,
so
the other 11 games on their schedule.
Let me see the schedule.
Here, the other 11 games on their schedule. You can't beat Washington at home with no quarterback.
And no Chase Young.
And no Chase Young.
Chase Young's playing.
Chase Young's out for the first 4 games.
Washington's still a playoff team, and especially on the offensive side of things.
Wait.
Eagles will beat them. Watch them. They maybe we'll see. Minnesota. Most people have them winning this division. Minnesota, Seattle. Yes, I'll give you that. New England. I don't care what you want to say about Bill Belichick and where he's gone right now and where he's gotten away from. It's still Bill Belichick in New England. We ain't some team that's going in there as like the Vikings. It'd be different if you said we're the Vikings and we're going into Gillette Stadium. That the Bill Belichick Patriots, they're a little bit different than they used to be. I can give you that. But we're a team that's trying to find ourselves. That's a loss. Dallas, that'll be a loss. Miami's much better than people think. That's a loss. Green Bay is a loss. Chicago is a win. I give you that. The Giants, it depends on what the win's like that day. Buffalo, that's a loss. Jaguars could be a win. Minnesota, that's a loss. The Jets, we're the same exact team. It depends. Carolina, that's a win. Chicago, that's a win. Green Bay, that's a loss.
We're going to do our game-by-game breakdowns. I'm just telling you. I'm telling you my opinion.
Your opinion sucks.
My opinion might be bad, and I don't want to use that kind of language in front of these kids here.
Sorry.
My opinion is this.
Fire them?
If you are 0-11 against everybody outside of Chicago twice, 2 New York teams, Carolina and Jacksonville, if you are 0-11, that does not signify to me that you have gotten any better.
So what I will tell you,
unless if Jared Goff is healthy.
What I would tell you is before you went on this gravy train with the Detroit Lions and they're going to do this and blah, 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 you should have paid attention more to what they did on the defensive side in the offseason, which was nothing. They didn't do anything in the offseason. So before you made this...
They drafted the number 2 overall pick in the draft.
One move. What about the other positions?
What about Josh Pascal?
Nothing.
He's not even playing.
We don't even know where the hell he is.
Who is he?
Why are you yelling at me? It's just an opinion.
I'm not yelling at you, but I expect, just like you expect more from the Lions, I expect more from you.
I think Jeff Okuda's going to be a good player.
Look at me a minute. You're not firing Dan Campbell if you win 6 games.
Listen to me.
What's wrong with you?
If they go 0-11 against those teams, I am going to be calling for the firing of Dan Campbell.
I'm going to be calling for the firing of you.
Well, you know what?
Well, who the hell am I?
Fine. You know what? Fine.
Fletch, take
I
over.
don't care. Very good. What are we doing next? Foaling. Foal.
All I want at a New England game is if somebody runs Matty Patty. That's all I give a damn about in that game.
Let me tell you this though. If they start the season 0-1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, that means they would start the season 0-7. I'm sorry. If the Lions start the season 0-7, I will be calling for the firing of Dan Campbell. Is that fair? Is that a bad opinion? That's a bad opinion, 0-7.
You said that's a bad opinion? Or you guys said...
I think it's bad.
Did they get blown out?
This is a results-oriented league.
We're not winning the Super Bowl this year.
Okay.
We're not.
You guys be happy with 0-7.
I'm not
Nobody's
happy.
happy. I'm not happy
You
with
guys are
0-7.
happy with 0-7.
First of all, I don't care about the Detroit Lions. I'm simply telling you the truth. And the truth is, they're not going to beat the Eagles. They're not going to beat the Commanders. They're not going to beat the Vikings. They're going to beat the Seahawks. They're not going to New England and beat New England. They're not going to.
Give me some chips.
I just don't get it. Like everything has to happen for kids now. You're acting like the kids do now. It's not now. Just because something is moving in a forward direction.
You're telling me.
But look who they're playing against. Everybody they're playing was in the playoffs last year, or they were slated to be in the conference championship.
Seattle's a 7-win team.
I said one team.
Why are you yelling?
Because you keep pointing to the one team out of 7. Okay, congratulations, 1. The other 6, though, Ryan.
Okay, let's go to a break.
6.
Folding Warehouse.
Oh, baby. Oh, man.